In 3, 2. Well, hopefully your hearts and bellies are full after not only a full day of Thanksgiving feasting, but a full day of post-Thanksgiving shopping. And today we're going to go ahead and keep that going. And let's start it off with my favorite person's quote of the entire Marvel Universe.
10 years old. Later on tonight, you're going to be laying down. There's going to be something squishy in your pillowcase. And it's going to be because I put a turd in there.
You put your turd in my bed, I shave you.
Oh, it won't be my turd. It'll be Drax's.
I have famously huge turds.
Can we put the bickering on hold until after we survive this massive space
I will
battle?
never forget. That's like my favorite quote. And I'm probably not going to attract anybody to the show with that as our headliner this morning.
Yeah, probably a couple. Never know.
Okay. Yeah. Some people have famously huge. Well, I mean, I just put it on there because it's relevant. Because after Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying. I mean, we still have a lot to relinquish, but that's a whole. That's Steph's face shit does see. Well, anyway, good morning, everybody. What's happening, man? It is Saturday, as you already know, and we're here to kick it live with you, New Blood Order style. There's a lot of stuff going on this week. If you don't already know, we're here to tell you that the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special just dropped yesterday, and news was broke. There's evidently new family members afoot. Now, also, we have the season finale of Andor, the one and only show that is currently keeping the Star Wars franchise afloat. And I don't even know if it's getting enough justice in the media. Of course, we have Let the Right One In, had another episode, Peripheral, and a couple other things. But in all honesty, guys, I just figured today will be a good day to just sit back and chat with our good old panel about us, because we as people. You know what I'm saying? And things happen. And we just had like a whole Thanksgiving thing. And I'm going to just keep it real. I would just keep it real. I have mixed feelings about holidays nowadays. Now I think there's three of us on here that have children and two of us that do not have children of our own. Now I'm just curious as to how your Thanksgivings went. Let's start with Yaz. Yaz always has a good time with her family, with Mati Stack. I'm sure y'all had Thanksgiving dinner at a table made out of Legos. What happened?
We actually had a very chill Thanksgiving this year. We usually have like, a really big family event, but it was just kind of, just chill and relax with the in-laws. We went over to Austin's parents' house and just kind of had some food and hung out. And, yeah, it was nice. It was very chill and relaxing. It wasn't like, chaotic. Usually I have to go to like 3 or 4 houses and travel, you know what I'm saying, and spread my love and, thankfulness. And this year I just got to sit at one house and it was nice. I just got to do what I wanted and I didn't have to I got to be like normal people. It was weird, it was nice. Because, literally every year we have to go to 3 or 4 houses and I have to all right, this time we have to be here. Like I'm on time schedule and everything. Like there's alarms that go off. So. Yeah. Holidays are crazy.
The best way to avoid cooking is to go from house to house.
I always bring something. I'm not like empty-handed, you know what I mean? Like I brought pies and breakfast roll-ups and what else did we bring?
Oh, yeah. What kind of roll-ups are we talking? Yeah,
they're okay. So I have just been experimenting with croissant rolls. No, I've been experimenting with croissant rolls, and I put bacon, egg, and cheese inside a croissant roll, and I rolled them up like little baby diapers, and oh man, they're bomb.com. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I've been just testing things out with the roll-ups, that you can get from the store, the croissant roll-up things, we put pepperoni and cheese in them, just, it's just easy snack on the go, I just grab one and, get on my business. So, yeah.
All right. I would love to partake in your holiday roll-ups. They sound relaxing and
they are.
We're not. Now, in contrast, Steph, how was your Thanksgiving? Now, Steph, you travel a lot, man. You always on the move. I'm surprised you didn't have a Thanksgiving at a fast food restaurant somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you stay busy. Did you have a chance to enjoy your Thanksgiving this year? What happened, man? You get your family?
I did come home last year. I spent Thanksgiving in the desert in Vegas, and it was really nice doing that by myself. This year, I came home to my parents' house, and my son's here, and all my siblings were here, and it was a house full of people, and yeah, it was a house full of people. So that was cool. It's nice to see people, and I'm ready to go back to my place alone tomorrow and be alone for a while.
yeah, man. Tyrone, what about you, homeboy? Thanksgiving feasting, man. Any what's going on?
Yeah. So real quick, Biddle, I see you in the comments. We're definitely gonna talk that Andor. I'm excited.
Yes,
I got invited kind of to like a Friendsgiving thing for all the strays in New York who were like here without their families and stuff like that. So, I got to hang out with some people in the industry and just, in comedy, and just had a really, really great night. Actually, it was a really cool Thanksgiving night. We played Blebrity, which is basically it's basically like Heads Up for Black folks, and that was so much fun. We had a great time. The host cooked.
Real quick, can I pause you? Like, what's the question
Yeah.
what's something that would be asked on the Blebrity game? Like, I'm just curious.
There's like, that little phone game Heads Up, where it's like, there'll be a word on there, and like people got to give you the clue so you can guess the word. It's that. So like, if categories music or whatever, like, so I'm sitting there with the phone, and somebody said Timbaland, and I said Magoo, because obviously, you know what I mean. So like, it's that kind of thing, but it's very, it's for us, so we get to talk about our deep cuts. We had a good time, yeah. So it was a great time, man. It was one of my favorite Thanksgivings. Had a blast.
Nice. Okay. Nolly.
I actually didn't spend it with family this year, which is weird, because you grow up in a Hispanic household. It's always family or nothing. But since I moved out here, I only have my grandma and my mom down here in Florida. And like my mom's got her own stuff going on. My grandma usually goes to my uncle's house, and I can't stand them, So I'm fortunate enough to have formed really good friendships with almost all of my coworkers from my previous job. So my old boss and I hang out all the time. We have Marvel movie nights and stuff like that. And she was like, "You're coming over for Thanksgiving?" And I was like, "I've had your food. Yes, let's do this." And she fed me real good.
All right. Nice. It's weird because when I picture you and like Yaz for Thanksgiving, it's like at the Casa de Mardi Gras, just with where y'all don't talk about Bruno, and you know what I'm saying, like Casita makes y'all go down the steps.
Oh no, it's so funny too, because I didn't really have like a real turkey for Thanksgiving ever until like a couple of years ago, because there's always Spanish stuff, like we always have pernil and stuff like that. So it's always like, y'all really eat turkey? Like that's how it happens?
Oh, I mean, we have penne like every
for
year.
everything.
For Christmas too, but like turkey is a must. My mom even, like, I told her not to make anything. She even showed up at their house and was like, "I brought the penne," and I was like,
"Thanks, Mom."
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
You brought what? She brought what?
Penne it's a pork shoulder, and you slow cook it for like 12 hours.
Yes.
And really the inside of the shoulder of the pig, it just like falls off the bone. And it's basically like pork but turkey. Like, and it's, oh my God. Don't worry. One year I will learn you some things, and you'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck? This is amazing." Yeah. It's have your whole house smelling like amazing for hours, and you can't even eat it. It's horrible, but it's God. When it's done, you're just like literally dripping at the mouth, like to eat it. It's so good.
Well, that sounds great. I'm glad that y'all actually had. It sounds like y'all had good Thanksgivings. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not a big fan of holidays. I think I've said this before. I'm over it. I get real annoyed. I get real grinchy, very Scrooge McDuck. You know what I'm saying? Whenever like the holidays come around, I be like, "Fuck, bruh. Who cares about all this bullshit, this bureaucratic bullshit?" And so this year was a little different for me. Normally, here's where I lucked out. I have a family that feels the same. Well, I don't want to say all of them. My youngest is like, "Dad, can we put up Christmas? Can we put up?" It's like, yeah, all right, whatever. But everybody else in the family, including my dog, we like, "Look, bro, we over it, bro. We here chilling." You know what I'm saying? This year we got we had the opportunity to congregate with my mom, my pop, and my sister and one of her friends. and they came to my house. I feel like I'm lagging. I don't know if I am or not. But yeah, they came to my house, and I have to tell y'all, when that stuff happens, when we get notified that we will be hosting Thanksgiving dinner, automatically stress level goes to the roof. We're like, oh, now we got to clean the house.
Yeah.
now we got to get away. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to paint over that hole in the wall that we accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to get furniture and clean dishes, and you know what I'm saying. And then will the food be good? I don't know. Will they talk shit about it? I don't know. Are they gonna? Like it's this whole thing. I don't know if like I was telling y'all beforehand. Like psychologically, I'm an overthinker. Sometimes that's true, Daniel. Daniel says I would like to cosplay. Honestly, Halloween is a whole different subject. That's a whole different subject. Don't even start.
Yeah.
But for Thanksgiving, man, it was just like, bro, I just be like, man, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I find myself counting the time it takes for everybody to leave, finish eating, so I can get back on PlayStation. I'm like, when y'all gonna leave so I can get back to Returnal? I'm trying to get to the next level. I'm stuck. Me and Tyrone played this video game the other day. We playing this game called Returnals. I might even upload some of the stuff from there. But I'm addicted to this game right now. And during Thanksgiving dinner, I'm like, all right, enough. No more stuffing. No more blah, blah, blah. I need to get on the sticks. And I guess what I'm wishing is, I wonder out there in the world, is there a video family? Is there a mom, pop, daughter, son that they come over for Thanksgiving, like, all right, where the sticks, man? Come on, where the sticks? We trying to jump on this Avengers right quick. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like everybody like, all right, let's say grace. What's up, Yaz?
That was our house. Like, we literally got to Austin's parents' house, and first, like, we got his mother-in-law, so Austin's screwed because, like, the month before Christmas, it's his mother-in-law's birthday, his mom's birthday, then my birthday, then Christmas. So, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, we literally, for her birthday, got her the new, like, God of War game. And she was, like, geeked. Got over her house, and she was already playing it. I was like, yes! That's what I'm talking about. It's fucking Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all got her God of War? Yo.
Yes, for her birthday, yes.
Dope. Yo, I'm playing God of War, too, and it's doing what it does. But, I don't know, man. I guess I was going to ask Ty. I don't know if Ty's around, man, because I know he's got the family thing too, but I don't know. I don't know. It's probably just me.
Wait,
so like,
you asked if there was a video game family out there who does that kind of thing for Thanksgiving. Yes, but also this could be an opportunity for you to start that tradition. Like people know if Vince is hosting Thanksgiving, it's going to be a video game Thanksgiving. So you coming over, you better train your thumbs up. That's the thing.
Bring your sticks.
Yeah, traditions got to start somewhere. And if you don't like the traditions that are established, then make your own.
Make new ones.
You know what?
That's what we used to do. My parents love Rock Band. They're not gamers, but like I grew up with my dad. How I got into gaming was my dad would play Resident Evil, and I would sit next to him, and I'd be too scared to hold the controller, so he would do the fighting, and I would solve the puzzles. So for Thanksgiving, we would all get together and we would play Rock Band, and whatever we were eating would be like our band name. So like even if it wasn't a holiday, we were the fajitas for a long time because fajita night was popping. We called it as such, fajita. I know it's
yeah, Vince heard something else. I saw it happen.
Did you say the what? The what? The
fajitas. We know it's the fajitas, but we called it the fajitas. And it was either that or my little cousins would play Call of Duty Zombies, and we'd all be in there taking turns. Like, you got to start good traditions.
That sounds dope. I didn't think, you know what? But the problem with that is, if I do start that night, Tyrone, I will have to have people around, and that's against what I want. Right. I don't want people around, like. But
on your terms, though. I mean, it's and it's only going to be people who want to do the stuff that you're that you're putting out there. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I feel like the feeling of like, oh no, the holidays are here is because it's like, here's a big ass list of shit I don't want to do, but I have to because it's a certain day of the year. So I don't know. I say if nobody's gonna like throw you in jail for it or something, just change the traditions up. Just be like, hey, games giving. It's on. Like, that's what we're doing over here.
Look at his face.
Say that again.
Games giving. You can have it. It's free. It's for you. What's it called? Public domain now. Anybody wants to do games giving, do it.
Let me go to my GoDaddy page and let me go ahead and copy that as a handle. What's up, Ty? I see you made it, man. I mean, Ty been since after he finished his first serving.
Yeah, he's about to start a new cycle.
Yeah. All that.
How you doing, man? We was just talking about like our Thanksgiving experience before we get into a little Guardians of the Galaxy special, before we get into the Andor finale, maybe a little Let the Right One In, and maybe even get into some of our nominations for this year's New Blurred Order Awards. We was just talking about like how we got down with our families. I personally, oddly enough, even as an entertainer, love to be in my private man cave and my video games, and anything outside of that is a disruption. so don't distract me with your feasts and your holiday traditions. Let me do my thing. And Tyrone gave me a good suggestion as to combine them two. What about you, homeboy? I mean, I know you got a whole family to feed over there and got a lot of stuff to have to deal with on Thanksgiving Day. How was yours, man? Family?
I mean, it was good. Everybody got to eat, of course. You know, I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Like the holidays really is not really my cup of tea. I mean, well, specific holidays aren't my cup of tea. But I mean, it's always good to hang out with the family. I think I'm much more isolated now, and comfortable being by myself. So yeah, if I can go in my man cave and have privacy, it's a good day. You know what I'm saying? Right now, my mom is still here.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Hold up, bruh. Hold up, man. Mom is there. Does that make things complicated? Because I know moms, you know, she love the Lord. And you know,
I mean, this is my house.
You love the herbs.
It's my this is my house. But we, you know, I definitely respect my mom to the utmost. But you know, when I go into my man cave, that is my safe haven. When I close that door, that means stay out. And if you come in, then you may be subjected to what goes on within my domain. So I'm just saying, the door is closed. It has a do not enter sign on it. You know, so if you enter at your own peril. So you know, my mom knows what's up. She knows. She sees the.
How does she know what's up, bro? Is she like, son? I know you in there with that wacky tobacco. I mean, how does that work?
Well,
I'm still navigating it.
Nah, my mom calls it dope. Yes, you know, I'm a dope fiend. According to her, I'm a huge dope fiend. So you know,
it's such an old head. Oh my god.
Yeah. In between my smoking crack and doing all of the other things that I, you know, but nah, you know, my mom, she knows what's up. All her kids, we all partake, so she knows. You know, I'm not gonna just blow smoke in her face or anything like that, but she sees the wrappers, the empty wrappers and shit, stuff like that in the trash.
Figures it out.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yo, that's one of the things, and then we can move on. That's one of the things that annoys me too. Is like, you know, when like folks like us, we work so hard. Everybody on this screen, I believe, we work so hard to like make it so that we have our own dominion, where we can do whatever the fuck we want in our domain, and to relinquish that for the sake of others' comfort. I feel like such a brat sitting there talking about it. Like, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, literally, motherfuckers died. Like, there was like 4 mass shootings last week. There's bombs being dropped on Ukraine, and I'm sitting there like, but I want to stay in the my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like such a hoe ass dude, bro. Like, say, like, even talk about the shit, but it's on my head. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yo,
but if we had a therapist here, they would tell you that a lot of the feelings you're having about the way your feelings are trauma responses, because you've been taught to not feel that way, and you know all this other stuff. So you know, give yourself a break. It's okay to feel like you want your own space in your own home. That doesn't make you you know, a bitch. You know what I mean? To use a therapy term. You know, I'm not a trained therapist, but I do know some technical terms. And just because you like to do things your way, don't make you a bitch.
Good shit.
Love the emphasis. Love the emphasis.
I want Tyrone to write like a book of short quotes, and I want that to be on the first page, like, because you like things your way, don't make you a bitch.
They all start out so good.
Get that on a
Bitch.
Yeah, you got to emphasize that bitch part.
Yes.
You got to definitely emphasize that.
Yeah.
All caps.
Different fonts.
Yeah.
Yes, what was you about to say?
So I was gonna say I have a question for you guys. So like since most of us our birthdays are, you know what I'm saying, like in the time of holidays, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know, bad time, your birthday's about to come up, you know what I'm saying?
Tomorrow.
Like yeah, I was gonna say like it's literally in like what? Yeah, tomorrow, the 27th. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
His government business out there.
Oh, my bad.
I'm messing with you.
Sure, it's public.
That's all I can say. But yeah, like, you know, since all of our birthdays are like right in between, you know what I'm saying, like the busiest holidays, do you think it's because of that? Like we're so like, let's get it over with, you know what I'm saying? Like let's, you know, like because you gotta think about it, you know, where we're subjected to like being jolly and it's, you know, like our birthday as well, and then everyone's still like being all like excited. Because I'm not gonna lie, in my household I'm the Grinch, and my birthday is December 2nd, you know what I'm saying? I'm the Grinch, and Austin is like just, you know, just sparkling sunshine, Santa Claus. Like we're listening to Christmas music already. Like a week before Thanksgiving he was already playing Christmas music in my house. Like I went downstairs
what Christmas music,
and this dude is like playing Christmas music, and I'm just like the old classic Christmas music songs, bro. I'm already listening to
like Bing Crosby and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I thought you were talking about Boys to Men, Silent Night.
Yeah, if it's like Boys to Men or like Donny Hathaway or something.
Haven't got there yet. But it's like, you know, it's like the old school, you know what I'm saying? Like the very, very old, like classic. You know? Yes, literally. And like, you know, I'll be in the car and all of a sudden he'll start singing it to me, and I'm like looking at him like, guess we're listening to fucking Christmas music on this car ride. Like, yeah. So I wonder if that, you know, has anything to do with that. You know, it kind of unfortunately takes the joy out of it, because you know what I'm saying, like everybody else is so amped up and we're like, yeah, my birthday is like in between all this bullshit, you know what I mean?
I'll be honest, man, as a man of 40 something years, I could give a shit about a birthday. Like I actually hate birthdays even more. Like, I'm like, fucking birthdays too? It's my birthday too? Are you serious? I gotta celebrate this bullshit too? You know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't it just my birthday last year? I get annoyed, bro. I don't know. I think that there is definitely room for me to sit on the couch and diagnose why it is that I have these feelings. I think it's because anything that puts me in a position to have to think for the comfort of others is starting to annoy me when I have to do it in my own expense. Like now, like when I think of birthdays, I'm like, okay, cool. I get to do what I want for my birthday, but that's not what it is, right? It's okay, well, what do y'all want to do for my birthday? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we accommodate you? Because like I ain't gonna lie, I mean, not I love my family. I think I got one of the dopest. I think I got the dopest. I mean, of course, we all think we have the dopest thing. My family is nice enough to let me do the traveling and to not trip when I sit and spend days on end obsessed on a video game that I can't get to the next level on, and things like that. But then it comes time for my birthday. They be like, what you want to do for my birthday? I be like, I don't really want to do nothing. They be like, come on, we got to do something. It's your birthday. And I be like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't. You know what I'm saying? We're like, well, let's go do this. I be like, all right, are we doing this for you or are we doing this for me? You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem I have. Like, I don't want to think birthdays. I know they're a stamp of time to celebrate how far we've come since we were, you know, pushed out the womb. But for me, it's like, yo, I can celebrate that on a daily basis. I don't need the day. In fact, most times in my years, I've started to use my birthday as a marketing ploy. Like, hey, come out to the spot tonight, $25. It's Vince's birthday. And I'm like, okay, if I can capitalize on it, then let's do that. But I don't know, Ty, I know your birthday's tomorrow. Do you feel like what Yaz is saying, like you're overshadowed? Because frankly, I'm happy to have my birthday overshadowed. Like, Jesus, take all my shine. I ain't even tripping. You know what I'm saying?
My birthday is falling on Thanksgiving. So like because it changes each year.
Yeah, leap year and shit.
Yeah.
Changes each year. So yeah, I mean, whenever it's close to Thanksgiving or falling on Thanksgiving, it usually gets overlooked. Especially, you know, when there's family and everything like that, you know, people are eating, once they eat, it's like, happy birthday. Yeah. Like, yo, but I think when it comes to my birthday, that's probably like the one day out of the year that I'm like, this is my day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really too concerned about what people like plan for me for my birthday, as long as it's acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? If I'm acknowledged, I'm cool. I'm like, you know, you want to take me out to dinner, you want to go do this, whatever. Anything that it acknowledges me on that day, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. But yeah, it has lost a lot of its luster when it's fallen on like Thanksgiving or fallen really, really close to Thanksgiving, where people just don't have the energy. Once you get that itis, whatever else was planned is just got to take that back seat. So
you're trying to turn up after Thanksgiving dinner and nobody's got that twerking energy.
Nobody's got that energy. They like, oh, why you act like it's your birthday or something? I'm like, hey, you're right.
I'll say this, and I hope y'all don't mind us chatting on our personal lives, man. I mean, we talk so much about everybody else's. I mean, it's cool for us to be able. Yes, I'm curious as to you, Nolly, and maybe even Steph, man. Do y'all? Well, nah, because y'all speak specifically about your Latin heritage. Do y'all do potato salad? Do y'all do yams?
My mom made potato salad and macaroni salad. Actually, I thought that was kind of like this year. I was like, what the fuck, like, you know, and like, yes, we eat yams, potato salad, macaroni salad, turkey. We usually have penne. Like, we usually have. It depends, you know what I'm saying, on the year. We have ham, macaroni and cheese, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have a bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole fucking spread of food, like leftovers for days type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, it's green bean casserole, the sky's the limit, dog, of like how much shit is there, you know what I'm saying? Like the pies, there's always so many fucking pies too, and like cobblers, and like, goddamn, yeah, you always bring your stretchy pants when it's a holiday event. You never ever wear jeans.
You don't show up in jeans.
Don't fucking wear jeans.
No.
Hey, one time, shout out to the comment section real quick. I want to circle back. Do you make potato salad? You told a whole bunch of other stuff you do make. Potato salad, do you make it in a Latin household?
My mom made it.
Salad, yeah.
She made potato and macaroni salad, and then got mad at me because I didn't want either of it. I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, I made this, and I was like, who asked you to make that shit? Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I told you not to make nothing. Like, why are you mad at me right now? So
every occasion we have ensalada de papa. Always. I don't know why. That's what we call it in Spanish. Ensalada de papa. Yeah, potato salad.
Enchilada de papa. Okay. I thought you said enchilada de papa, like an enchilada made out of papa.
Real good. Don't do that. I'm hungry.
All right. So cool. Okay, it sounds like we do keep the same traditions. All right, man. Well, look, man, I ain't want to go too far into it, but I just was curious. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even eat. Like, I don't eat. Look, last thing I'm gonna say is turkey is overrated. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Turkey has become more of a symbol for Thanksgiving than it has an actual dish. It's the smallest amount of food on my plate every year. I don't normally get a lot of turkey. I prefer the mac and cheese.
Somebody ain't cooking your turkey right then.
I know, right?
Somebody ain't cooking your turkey.
The turkey's not good. It's not a good meat.
Speak for yourself. My wife made a turkey. No. It's about your marination process, how long you marinate that thing, what kind of seasonings you use, all of that. I'm telling you, I just ate some turkey that did not taste like no regular turkey. And she marinated it for 3 days, 3.5 days, whatever, with all of the juices. You cut it, it's still juicy. It's 3.5 days. Yes, she had the thing in the refrigerator for 3.5 days marinating. So and when she cut it, it still had the moisture. Plus, I don't know what you doing if you don't have some type of gravy to put on that turkey. If you over here eating turkey without gravy, then kill yourself.
I do think Vince's point.
Don't literally kill yourself.
I think this kind of goes to help Vince's point a little bit because of all the effort that's needed to make turkey taste as good as like chicken on a regular day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of effort. No, you can absolutely have some good turkey. I've had some deep fried turkeys that were amazing. But also a lot of people die trying to deep fry turkeys just so they could taste good. You know what I mean? So it's like, what is the effort worth it? That's my question.
For black women, it is. I can definitely speak for my grandmother, for my mother, for my wife. This is something that they look forward to because at the end of the day, you ask any woman, and I take that back. I'm just speaking for black women because that's who I know. But I'm just saying for all women, when you cook Thanksgiving dinner, it's more for the response that you get from people when they're eating your food that kind of like makes you go hard in the kitchen like you do. Every woman wants to hear, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." Oh, you think so? And they all do the same thing. They all try to play humble and be like, "Oh, I tried to make it as, I'm just glad everybody likes it." What you was doing in that kitchen when you was in that kitchen. Your whole purpose was to make a masterpiece that everybody is appreciating and talking about. And then you can, brag about it later on, when you buy yourself, I cooked things, I did my thing, right? What I'm saying? Everybody was like, that's the thing that happens in our culture is Thanksgiving that's why the preparation is so serious. When Big Mama used to do it, Big Mama had about 4 or 5 people in the kitchen doing other stuff because she wanted to make sure all of this was good. So I needed you over here on the macaroni and cheese. I need you over here on the potato salad. I need you over here messing with the collard greens, making sure they don't go overcooked. I need to make sure my turkey is A1 because nobody likes dry turkey on Thanksgiving. I mean, it's
and we wonder why we're all sitting here talking about the holidays stress me out.
Right.
About the holidays.
He just basically like he added to the nightmare. And I mean, I'm assuming that there's probably women out there. I mean, men out there that cook and put just as much into the cooking process as well. But the fact that I have to think about this shit, I'm gonna keep it real. You want to know? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell my family right quick. We didn't cook. We didn't cook that shit, bro. We catered the fuck out of our Thanksgiving.
Snitching.
We went to Caribbean Sunshine Bakery. We cooked some basic essentials. We did cook the turkey. We cooked the mac and cheese.
What did you cook? What did you
I
cook?
paid the bills in this motherfucker. Everything was cooked because the electricity was on. The gas was paid. The mortgage is paid. Ain't no problem. They just cooked under my roof. I cooked it. I don't give a damn if I ain't even going to the kitchen. God damn it, shit. I'm taking claim of ownership. But yeah, man. We had we did my wife cooked the turkey. My oldest daughter cooked the mashed potato, the mac and cheese, which again for mac and cheese is not craft, it's not something you get out of a box. It's something that you put at least, let me see, about 4 or 5 pounds of cheese in, and 2 scoops of macaroni, and you stir it up and you do it like that. That's how we do it. I'm gonna go in there. I might have some before the end of the show.
About right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Y'all see me missing for a little bit. It's because I'm on mac and cheese. But like. I was actually happy, bro. I was so happy because you don't see the amount of stress that when it was announced that we were hosting it, like my wife literally is like, "Oh my God." Like ever since that moment, it just became okay. We gotta prefer, and that takes the enjoyment of. So we've started new traditions. We typically like to travel for Thanksgiving. Next year we probably travel. We traveled last year. And for Christmas we'll be traveling. It's one of a way that we kind of have to avoid just doing the traditional things, you know what I'm saying? Because there ain't gonna be no Christmas tree where we going, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't gotta decorate shit and clean up. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. And the fact, you know what's very revealing to me, the fact that Ty just listed all of that shit that the women do or that the wife do, as he says. What is he doing? Like that's why he ain't stressed. He gets to sit back on Thanksgiving and just eat that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not true. That's not true. That's not true. The only reason I got to sit it out this time is because my birthday is right around the corner and she told me to chill out. But I have cooked an entire Thanksgiving dinner on multiple occasions. So I know what it feels like to have people eat your food and be like, "Oh my God, this is really good." And I also know the type of care and detail that goes into cooking. So that's why I can appreciate it from a different perspective. You, on the other hand, have sold Kim out, rolled her up the river. She probably was bragging to her homegirl, "Girl, I did Thanksgiving this year for the first time and I killed it." And you just went on right behind her and told that all that was a fraud. So I'm sorry, Kim, that your husband doesn't know no better. And just sold you up the river. But I'm sure what you did cook was good. We're gonna give you them props, girl.
Oh wow. Listen, man, there's nobody gonna be fooled nobody believes we actually made kingfish for Thanksgiving, bro. Like we are not, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't catching no kingfish. Like we had a whole thing we got 2 pallets of greens. We had to give greens away. I remember Steph gave me some greens one year. You know what I'm saying? We had too much. We have an overflow of greens because we purchased them. You know what I'm saying? And it was good too. I ain't gonna lie. But all right, I'm sorry. Anyway, Tyrone, you was about to say something, man. I think you was. I'm going.
What you were showing popped up. Is there a TikTok trend where people just read memes and then move out of the way so you could see the meme? Is that a thing that's happening?
That's the thing.
Jesus Christ. Yes. I hate the holidays too now. I'm a Grinch forever now. I'm just kidding. I couldn't believe that's a thing. Sorry, I'm surprised by that. That's just a thing now. The next TikTok trend is going to be people telling you had to be there stories. You'll be like, oh, you should have been there. It was great. You had to be there though.
I love meme trends, but only when they're on Twitter. I feel like TikTok don't do it justice. Like that whole time when Black Twitter was like, oh, it's World War III, what you wearing? What you pulling up with? And all the memes were there. Or like they took old pictures of like reality TV shows, made them black and white, and was like, this is my grandma fighting for one right. And it's Snooki getting arrested at the pier. Like,
remember when we were all supposed to get powers? It was like 2 years ago. Was it December 12th?
I got mine. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
Coming around to. I love those memes. Those were great. Black Twitter.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, I didn't mean to derail the holiday stuff. That just that activated the Grinch in me. But no, I feel you. It's nice to have people enjoying your stuff, and it is nice to have family and friends and everything. I'm sure that there's, I'm sure, Vince, there's a little bit of you that looks around and sees all your family together, and you're like, this is nice. Yeah.
Let me say real quick. In a moment of clarity, I love my family. This has nothing to do with like my mom, my pop, my sister, and all I have the most delightful family. Even if I wanted to hate them, it'd be too hard because they're too nice. They're such nice people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my mom, she's it's so funny because she's from Albany, Georgia, and she's a deep Southerner, but she doesn't know her accent. Y'all have people like that they don't know that they have accents. Like my mom's like, I ain't got no accent, sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's an accent, you know what I'm saying? And my pops, from the Midwest, we got different traditions. So it was nice to have them all over. My sister even brought a friend over. They were delightful. I mean, but one thing that I was able to do this year that was different is, that I have my journey with my spirituality or lack thereof, I would say, greater the lack of that. And so normally when we do adhere to these traditions, it becomes, a religious ceremony of sorts. So there was a pivotal moment that I was dreading. That was the point at which we say the grace. My pops, being a minister, could speak grace all the way up until Christmas Eve if it came down to it. So what we started doing is we'll say, hey, Dad, I got the grace. And we'd be like, good bread, good meat, good Lord, let's eat. And then we'll get out the way. But honestly, I'm gonna keep it real, and this might stir some people the wrong way, especially those in the comment section that I knew that I went to church with growing up. And it looks like I'm lagging. I can't tell if I am. It looks like I am.
Are you good?
I didn't want to say grace because we don't really say grace like that in our house anymore for intentionally because of some of my feelings towards religious patriarchies and so the time came for us to eat, and I was like, oh God. Oh man, am I going to have to bow to saying grace in my house just because, and so I was like, yo, all right, it's time to eat now. Look, I know y'all normally say grace, and this is how I know I love my father. My pops was like, Vinny, this is your house. We do what you want, bro. We following your lead. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, we don't have to say joint grace. I can say grace for myself. We can say grace for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I need to give my people more credit for being more open to working with me on my journey to being myself. Even when we got to the table and we were talking about subjects, I am lagging. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to leave and refresh and come back. But my pops was trying to quote. He had gotten so sensitive to it. He tried to quote a scripture without using it. And I was like, wow, he's really trying. And this like really touched me. He was like, my wife was telling how she had learned over the course of our relationship to not speak everything she thought immediately. Like she used to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she'd be like, why you gonna wear that? Instead now she's like, why is he wearing that? And she'd be like, honey, you think maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like she, like now she's kind of, so she was telling my people about that. And my pops was like, oh, in the book, he was like, oh, well, you know, there's a saying that goes, a soft answer turns away wrath. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell that he wanted to be like, you know, Ephesians 6:7. But he backed up. He was like, you know what? This is my son's house. This is how they do in his house. Let me, and it was very eye opening to me. So I don't know if he I mean it was moving to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made me, because oftentimes I do feel like the Thanksgiving and the holidays when people come over, it's for them to come over and normally they'll do what they want in your house. And this is one of the first times I was able to have people over my house and did what I wanted in my house. I didn't even move my ashtrays. Like normally when people come over, I'm like, oh shit, man. But it is what it is. So sorry, I just thought that we, you know what I'm saying, may as well get to know us a little bit. I mean, we do talk on a weekly basis. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and back up. Unless anybody else had anything else to say.
I just want to say shout out to your mom, and because I did have the pleasure of eating at your house one year. I did have a chance to eat, and I know how your mom throws down. So you know what I'm saying. I'm just shout out to Mr. You know what I'm saying, Miss Taylor.
My man, appreciate it. Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, do me a favor and speak some more so I can refresh my my screen, because I think I'm stuck right now. What was it so much you loved about my mom? If you don't know.
Nah, like that. I remember this was some years back, but you know, just how welcoming, you know, because anytime you're going to somebody else's house that's not your family for an event like Thanksgiving, there is a slight bit of awkwardness because you don't necessarily know everybody, and you like me, I'm greedy, and I don't know how, like, what level of greediness exceeds the level of greediness that is acceptable for a guest, because as a guest you have a certain decorum you're supposed to follow, and me, I'm greedy. I might come in and be like, can I get another plate? Is that your third plate? It might be my fourth, but let me get, like, can I get it? But your family was very welcoming. You know what I'm saying? Pops was hecka cool. We wound up eating upstairs when y'all had the little room that you watch TV in, the little TV room upstairs at their crib. So we got to go up there, play some chess with your pops. You know what I'm saying, and everything like that. So it was mad cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, your family is dope.
Yeah. Shout out to my peoples, man. Shout out to Vince Taylor Sr., Charlene. You know what? Why am I giving out? And here's their social and address as well. While we're on that subject, but yeah, man, it was nice. Holidays are always real interesting. But this year, at the very least, there was some content that was holiday related. I don't know if everybody here had a chance to check out the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Before we get into the Andor finale, which we are itching and chomping at the bit to talk about, let's talk a little bit about this Christmas show, which clearly came out right after Thanksgiving, which is when Christmas starts. Sometimes it comes out right after Halloween. But yeah, man, did we all get a chance to check this out? And if so, actually, let me see real quick. Let's just do a survey real quick. Who all raise hands? Who all got a chance to check this? I mean, it came out yesterday. I know. Yeah, all right. I know. don't feel bad, Steph. It's okay. Don't even. It's all to the good. It's all to the good, man. Look, it's I damn near didn't make it. I just barely got it out the way last night. So, of those of us that did get a chance to watch it, I'm gonna go ahead and put this up and just let me know whether you're giving a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or if you give it a meh, thumbs up, thumbs down, or a meh. I'm gonna drop this in 3, 2, 1. All right, we got mess all around. Okay, all right. Well, let's start with Tyrone. He looks enthusiastically. He enjoyed it. What? You know what? Nah, let's start bad time. Why you said meh? You ain't feeling it, bro? You were loving it?
Nah. It was a few things that I'm starting to have a problem with Marvel. We need to hire a new CGI guy at Marvel. The CGI was definitely horrible.
Agreed.
And I was very surprised. Even though I honestly thought She-Hulk was just kind of like, that the a one-time deal, but obviously not. it was cool. I mean, it was 45 minutes long. And it was like I, I have a greater appreciation for Mantis. I will say that I do like her character more. I like the actress. I like her. But I could have gone without it. I mean, it wasn't really it didn't really add to anything. Like they didn't tie it into um the MCU other than the fact that of them being on the planet and you know what I'm saying. But outside of that, like I was kind of waiting for it to end to see what how this kind of ties in to what's going on in the MCU now, and it wasn't. It was just totally its own uh property. So the acting is never going to be like what stands out for me with the Guardians of the Galaxy. It is more of a comedic uh, movie series or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I was totally thrown by the CGI. The CGI messed me up. I was like, really? The hopping, the jumping, the landing, I was just like, this is not good at all. Like when it came to the CGI, and I just feel like this. I was expecting a little bit more, and if this is what we have to look forward to in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, then I'm like, ugh. So yeah.
Yeah, that's how you feel?
I mean, yeah, when I saw Groot, I was kind of very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Groot did not look good at all. And it was very disturbing to see him not look good at all. Because we've had him look adorable as a little tiny Groot, and then you know what I'm saying? Like we've had him look really good as like teenage Groot. So I don't know why if him older he looks worse. I don't know. Like, yeah, the CGI, I agree with Ty. Like Disney needs to do something with that because it does not look good that you literally are like one of the highest grossing, you know what I'm saying, like companies that make TV and all this stuff. You have all this money, and what is there to show for it? You know what I'm saying? Like bad CGI. It just, I don't know. They definitely need to step up their game for sure. Like hire some YouTubers or something.
Wow.
But other than that, I mean, it was I don't know, it was cute, it was cheeky. I liked finding out, I guess, that like Mantis is Peter's brother. I was wondering that like from like the get-go, because they never, you know what I mean, like she just came out of nowhere and Ego didn't kill her, you know what I'm saying? And like, obviously they all had a purpose, all of his children, his Peter's father. So I don't know, that was kind of interesting to find out for sure. But I don't know, it was cute. It wasn't really anything like, like head turner or, just like, oh my God, I gotta watch it again. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't the greatest, and Groot was really, really bad, and that kind of made me really upset. So,
oh wow. Okay. All right. Is that how you feel, Nolly?
Yes. The CGI was terrible, but I will say this: overall, it was better than the Star Wars Holiday Special that we never talked about, that never got rerun and but I wasn't hoping for much. It's Guardians, so it's gonna be funny, a little cheesy, whatever. The story was cute. It was cute. It was a good, hey, this is on. You want to watch it? Pass some time, sure.
Right.
It didn't give what it was supposed to have gave. I don't know what they said that it was gonna have gave, but it didn't give.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
all right.
Whatever.
Tyrone, can you lighten the mood, bro? What I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe we and you might have the same commentary here. What's your thoughts on it, bro? I don't think we felt the same. What do you think?
Yeah, let me lighten the mood. So here's how capitalism works, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, that's I enjoyed it. I was like, it's fun. It's silly. It's lighthearted. It was touching at times. I had none of the complaints about how Groot looked. I thought it was a cool Groot look. Maybe I'm I don't know what that says about me, but I like this Groot look. Yeah. I thought the CGI was pretty decent, considering it's just a little one-off holiday special kind of thing. I like that Marvel's doing these one-off, these little short presentations that are not necessarily tied to anything too big or too great. So it's I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun Christmas special. It was definitely funny. The writing was hilarious. The songs were actually good. I enjoyed the opening song that they sang. I was like, this is kind of a banger. I might listen to this.
It's a banger.
I'm gonna add this to the Christmas rotation because and the lyrics were funny and stuff. So yeah, I just enjoyed all of it. They seem to have a good time with it. I don't mind when people get together and have a good time. There's plenty of precedent in comics for like, ridiculous and tongue-in-cheek Christmas issues and little specials and things like that. And I think this is a good addition to those.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm on the same line, man. Listen, first of all, the Groot hate, we have to stop right now. Like, come on, guys. Like, I feel like y'all were expecting like, look, it's a little Christmas thingy, you know what I'm saying? Like
I know, but like he looked like he was wearing like a suit, like one of those bodysuit things, but it was like, like with the flow pants from the 70s, and then they just like put like tree stuff on top of him, and like his face looked okay, but his body just, I don't know, the rest of his body looked just bad.
Okay,
Groot was funny though.
Okay, all right. Now I just want to say, Groot, spoiler alert, is in this for like 30 seconds. He's like 30 seconds of the 45.
He looked bad.
I don't think y'all need to be body shaming thick Groot. All right.
Body shaming him. I'm just saying. Look, they just need to like fix how he looks.
All right. Well, there's actually an explanation. From what I understand, Groot, as according to what I'm reading here, James Gunn explains how Swole Groot, they call him Swole Groot, came to life. That makes sense. All right. Yeah. It says, and I'm reading here directly from here. It says Swole Groot, as we call him, is getting bigger and bigger, outward as well as upward. Mm-hmm. So I think that what the cool thing about Groot is we're getting to see him kind of metamorph from, his original days where he was OG Groot, you know what I'm saying? And he's now like, showing us young man Groot. But this is like adolescent. I'm about to go to college. I just made the teen Groot, you know what I'm saying? And I guess it's meant to be awkward. Let me see. So I guess they expected to have to explain it. Here's an explanation that came out, like just 17 hours ago, as to why this is being put out there as this guy. And I guess y'all ain't falling for it. But
there was a particular moment where you get to see like kind of close ups while he's moving around. And one thing I noticed that I thought was a really cool detail was like you could see like different branches like under his first layer, like moving around while he's moving. So you almost kind of, and I was like, oh, they actually like added, a different level of detail that I wasn't expecting here. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting look. I like over how we've gotten to see Groot just, go through adolescence basically and into like early adulthood. Is it's been fun, and I do think that this will lead to a very scary, very tough, probably back to like murder Groot by the time he's fully grown, because he's gonna be hurting some folks in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I think.
Did Groot's not, I mean, he's not really that violent, right? I mean, he fights, but he's not a killer.
He's straight up killed in for the first two movies. Like
he was like throwing people like
he like did his like, he branched his arm out and went through people and was whipping them around and slamming them. He even killed people as a tiny Groot. Like, yeah, Groot's a killer.
Oh, he's a tree. Okay. But I just Groot has I don't know, for those of y'all who didn't know, but Groot has there's a series like on Disney Plus, an I Am Groot series. The episodes are like 4 or 5 minutes long, 6 minutes maybe. Yeah. And it kind of goes through, some of the stuff that Groot goes through. And Groot's an interesting character, but I just have to say Groot was not the star of this special. The star of this special was basically well, I don't even think it was Peter. I think it was Drax and Mantis. Mantis and Drax were basically the ones who navigated this whole thing, which is interesting. I thought it was fascinating that Drax had on a hoodie, and it's clearly because he's put on weight. He probably isn't in tip-top shape right now. You can kind of see.
Look, age. He looked old. He looked old in his face. He looked older in his face.
Bigger too.
Yeah. This is him from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's Grandpa
Drax. That's him with a shirt on. Shirt off, and this is with a shirt on. Like you could see You know what I'm saying? The difference. But it's fine.
He looked like thick Peter.
But there's a lot of thickness going around. Thick Groot, thick Thor, thick
Peter. Peter looks like he's getting that weight back. Yeah, he looks like he might be getting a little bit of that weight back.
All right, so here's a few things. I mean, let's just talk about the main thing. All right, once again, we dropping spoilers here. If you haven't seen it, I mean, look, it's not that big of a deal, frankly, because this evidently was in the comic book. But we are now aware, and Marvel has confirmed that the one tidbit of information we walk away from watching this special is that there is a family member amidst the Guardians of the Galaxy crew that we didn't even know existed. That is because Ego is the father of both Peter Quill and Mantis. And the first question I have is how? First of all, who is the mother? All right. You know what I'm saying? And is it a whole real praying mantis? What's up, Tyrone?
Yeah, so one of the plot points in the second movie was that Ego was just going around from planet to planet. Any planet that had a sentient being, he was impregnating somebody there so he could have a kid that would be able to carry on his legacy and his power and stuff like that. He wanted to propagate the entire universe this way, but it didn't take in every situation. I think he ended up talking about how a lot of his kids, he just killed them. Most of them, in fact. Mantis was one of the only survivors. So yeah, he's just there's a good chance that Peter and Mantis might have some half brothers and sisters out there who have survived this weird paternal murder spree. But yeah, that's how it is. Just little.
So Ego is basically the universe's Nick Cannon, and he's out there 100%. Spreading the seed across the universe. And I guess that's one of those seeds was spread in a praying mantis. But yeah, I wonder why he ended up keeping Mantis. Why they didn't? I think that.
How could you kill Mantis?
Well, no, like he said it like, Ego had everything on that planet was like there for a purpose. Her purpose was to help him sleep and to calm him. Remember that? You know what I'm saying? Like that was like what she used her powers for.
Well, I mean, do you think that it was like strategically not told to Quill that they were sisters for a certain reason? Like why? I mean, they hinted. If you go back and watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2, she wanted to say something. Like the whole time, the first thing she had to tell him, like, look, don't, Ego ain't a great person. Right. God, whatever. Second thing was evidently this. You know what I'm saying? It's his version of I'm force sensitive. But would it have been more advantageous, for her to just be like, look, bro, we cousins, we brother, we sister?
Yeah, I mean, it would have, but I mean, like, remember, Ego was like kind of controlling her an aspect as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? She was like, that was her dad basically. And she was like defying him, already telling Peter, you know what I mean? Like he was bad. So you got to think about it like that, from that kind of aspect. So I don't know. It was definitely like hinted at. And I think that was kind of cool and that they, brought that to light, but I just want to see where this is going to go in the third movie.
Yeah. I'm
just glad this isn't House of the Dragon, so we don't have to worry about them getting married.
Oh my god!
Hey, it's not too late. They did look each other in the eyes at the end of that and hug kind of tight. So who knows? We'll see what happens, man. But yeah, man. Overall, I think that the general consensus is that this holiday special was not meant to be a blockbuster movie. It was meant to be something lighthearted, fun, to remind you, especially after coming off of the heels of Black Panther, where everybody cried. Everybody had emotions. Everybody had feelings. Hey, we're still fun. Hey, look, here's a bug jumping off a wall, and here's a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. I think that Marvel is very strategic. I did notice that on this one, Tyrone. Not that it's a point of topic conversation, but this is the first time I actually saw the words Kevin Feige production on a project. That's interesting. I wonder what's the turn. Like, why would he put his name so prominently in the credits this time? I guess because it's solely his idea. I don't know. Does
it seem like it was independent? It seems like that's what I was saying earlier. It doesn't. What we watched didn't really. I mean, typically when you watch MCU, Marvel movies or series, they kind of tie into one another or tie into the MCU in some way, shape, or form. I don't. If I'm being honest, what good is it that they're brother and sister? Like, what does that change as far as their relationship, he already loved her, she already loved him. Like now we know even his response when he found out that she was his sister, it was just so like, oh, you're my sister. Oh, this is the best Christmas ever. It just seemed so like, it was like, whether you told him or not, I mean, Drax knew. It just didn't make it. I don't know, man. It doesn't tie in anything as far as I can see, and that maybe that's why they went with the Kevin Feige production, because it was separate from what everything else that's going on in the MCU. This is an independent project.
Well, and also I don't think it's meant to have any sort of like big rippling consequences that they're related. I think it's just more Peter's unending search for family. You know what I mean? It's why he was so susceptible to Ego's manipulation. It's why when he lost Yondu, it was so special. It hit so hard because he's never really had family. So, the Guardians are by extension like now his family. But now he knows he has actual, he has an actual sister, an actual family member that he can add and be around and hug and love. And like, so it's, it's special in that regard for him. But I think that's about as heavy as that's going to get. Just Peter having actual family, something he's been looking for a long time.
They'll probably kill her. They'll probably kill her in the next movie. That's Marvel for you. That's Marvel. It's like they're like, she killed my sister. We just found out we were related. Yeah, they're gonna kill her, bro.
That's fucked up because Quill has no literally even his adopted father is gone now, and I thought that was kind of cool for them to show that animated sequence of Quill as a younger child. Obviously. The other option would be to have a young actor play Quill and then them try to act it out, but they went the route with just the animation and the voiceovers. I think that was a smart way to go.
Yeah, that rotoscope style animation was cool looking too. I like that.
Very well done. So I mean, I think it served its purpose. We talked about it for a little bit, and it's going to keep Marvel in the fray. Not having Black Panther as just the only lead. For a Marvel conversation, this is a point of time for conversation. And I didn't hate the CGI like y'all did. I mean, Groot did look a little awkward the first time I saw him. I was like, is that Groot? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the background. I was like, is that like Groot or somebody cosplaying Groot? But then the sequences where Mantis and they're hunting down Kevin Bacon, which was hilarious. The fact that Kevin Bacon showed his ass one time for Kevin Bacon, second Marvel movie. All right. Remember he was in the X-Men
Sebastian Shaw.
So he's not his first time in a Marvel movie, but first time playing himself. And I like how they asked him about Footloose and a bunch of shit. It was real funny. So Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm going to say it's a net positive. I ain't going to ask everybody. I would say definitely waste your time watching it. It's worth it, at least if anything, to learn how it looks like the new role of Mantis, because this is the first time we saw Mantis kind of display some of her powers. What's up, Ty?
I was just going to say, I just want to be clear. I didn't really have a problem with Groot. I had a problem with those scenes that you were referring to, where they're like when they fell from the roof, you could see the wire. You could see the wire.
There was
that. And when they were on the ship and Kevin Bacon was talking to Drax and they showed out the window, like you could see that looked so fake. I was like, oh my god, this is like. I was like, yo, come on, Marvel. Like if this was DC, we would be clowning them for this.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
we're giving Marvel a pass on this.
You're
and
right.
It's like they make way too much money and made a deal with Disney. Y'all should not be regressing. That's not sorry. I'm not giving you a pass.
All right. You know what? That is a good point. There were a few points where I was like, okay, he didn't even try to make it look like he jumped over that wall.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it did. There was a hint of perhaps a little bit of laziness with some of the special effects, but
I don't think when him jumping over the gate was CG though. I think that was practical.
It wasn't CGI.
Yeah, it was just it looked awkward because it was done on wires and he landed like a human being on wires.
Like somebody who's being lowered from wires.
Yeah, he didn't put his whole. Yeah, you know what? In terms of I know that's not a CGI, but that's a special effect, and I did look at that for a moment. I was like, I could have, you could at least when you jump up, your arms go up like this, and he was just like, huh.
Yeah.
His arms, whatever, man. Real quick, I want to send a shout out to Big Will, man. Big Will in the comment section, man. Big Will, one of our Twitch watchers, actually is there
congratulations.
alongside me as I battle aliens on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All right, my man is there watching for hours at a time. Hours at a time. I'm sitting there. All right,
that's
anyway,
my homie Big, but his wife
sounds like
have a baby.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're about to have a second watcher on the way.
Yeah, hey, congratulations, Will, with your baby watch, man. All right, I have a name recommendation. Name him Groot. If it's a baby girl, maybe Grootisha. Who knows? I don't know. Mantis is trending. Here's my baby Mantis Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway. Congrats to you, man, and I hope the baby hits healthy and painlessly for the wife.
I do have one more thought on this special before we get off it. I did enjoy watching Mantis and Drax take it to the cops for about 5 minutes. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we get more of that, please.
Yeah, and the complete aloofness. Sleep. Yeah, dig it, love it. All right. Well, definitely go check that out, man. So we can talk and let us know how you feel about it in the group. Send us some words, and we'll definitely talk more about some of these projects in the future. But I definitely want to go ahead and fast forward to one of the most surprisingly good shows of the year, and that is obviously Andor. The season finale is upon us. We just had the season finale. I'm not going to lie. It's sad to see it go because it really is a breath of fresh air. With all of the content we got out there, Andor is showing and proving to be one of the most formidable of all of these shows, especially with Disney Plus losing a lot of money on the streaming service. So our resident Andor export, Tyrone, is here, man. And Tyrone, if you would, man, just kind of, if it's okay, as everybody here, I'm hoping everybody got a chance to peep it. It was Wednesday, it came out, well, if you could just give us an idea of what it was that we saw on this finale. Fully spoilers. Go ahead, let us know what's going on.
I'm gonna keep this real brief and just start by saying that after 12 episodes, I'm just gonna go ahead and call this my favorite show of the year. Period. Like no qualifiers, not just Star Wars, not just Disney Plus. Like best show of the year. Without a doubt, my favorite sci-fi show since The Expanse. Wow. This is on levels that I was not expecting, and I was expecting it to be good. But in the finale, what we saw was we knew that Marva's funeral was going to be happening. The ISB knew this, so they were hoping to lay the trap and catch Cassian Andor coming back from Marva's funeral. This effort was led by Dedra, of course, who has had it out for them the entire time. We found out that, we confirmed, we had some suspicion, but we confirmed for sure that Mon Mothma's driver was a mole the entire time, spying on them, taking that information back to the Empire. But I think Mon Mothma might have known this, though, because when she was talking to Perrin in the car, all she said was what he was doing wrong. She didn't say a damn thing about her own stuff. She kept her business completely out of it and just kind of set him up almost to be a patsy if she needed to. Mon Mothma's not playing. She knows what's going on. She's at Luthen level as far as like knowing how to move. Speaking of Luthen, he wanted to make sure that Cassian Andor did not get captured by the ISB. As we know, he had Cinta there and Bell there waiting to kill Andor the first time they saw him. So he wanted to be there to make sure that he saw it happen himself, or that if it doesn't, what is it? If you want it done right, do it yourself. Luthen was there to make that happen. Respectfully dressed in black, looking like a Sith, walking around ready to mourn and stuff. So that was nice. Real quick, I want to shout out a moment. Cassian ends up on Ferrix, for the funeral. He was not going to miss this. He, wanted to make sure to go back and rescue Bix, see his friends, all that stuff. But when he ran into Brazo in that tunnel and he saw his friend for the first time in a long time, and the way they hugged, that was a moment for me, because I was like, man, look at that moment of just like sadness and like happy to see your best friend and all that stuff. I was like, man, that hit so nice. That was one of the many choke up moments. I basically watched this entire episode through the welled up tears in my eyes. I was like, why is everything so blurry? They need to fix this CGI. And I was like, oh no, that's just me. Okay. So yeah, so funeral starts. By the way, the whole funeral procession, the marching band, the costumes, the set, everything about this was intense. The way it was cut, it was just building up to this moment where we see B2 show this hologram of Marva as she's making her speech, you know, kind of at first just seeming to say goodbye, and then making it her, you know, making this her moment to really stand for and essentially almost begin the rebellion in Ferrix.
Right.
Really, you know, be the spark of the rebellion. Her speech is her speech, and listening to Nemec read his manifesto in this episode. Both of those moments were absolutely huge. I think any Star Wars thing that I see from now on will have those kind of ringing in the background, because to me, they're foundational elements of this rebellion, and could not have hit harder. In this moment when Marva is making her speech, I was like, okay, this show is not just for Cassian Andor. This is for Marva Andor. Like, she was also a leader in this rebellion. This whole scene, them putting the imps in riot gear and stuff like that, interrupting peaceful proceedings that they had permits for and everything. This was done very intentionally to compare this sort of authoritarian rule to what we've seen in our own streets. And because I'm gonna tie it in. I got to, but they did it beautifully. They made it look absolutely beautiful. A friend of mine who is Puerto Rican actually showed me a lot of the parallels between that scene in Andor and with the Ponce massacre in Puerto Rico, where something very similar happened, down to marching bands and peaceful protests on streets, to where the cops just start opening fire into a crowd of unarmed people. Ended up killing, I think, 20 people in 1937. Look that up.
Wow.
But yeah, this couldn't have been. I don't think there's a way this could have been better. This is just absolute A1 rebellion. Star Wars is gorgeous. Maybe my favorite moment is while Marva's doing her speech. You catch Luthen, and he's there to murder Andor, but he's listening to this speech, and you can see hope inside of him. And 2 episodes ago, he was saying how he has no hope. He doesn't get the luxury of hope and friendship and all that stuff. That he's just doing this for a cause. Seeing that hope in him was like, wow, that was gorgeous. It's beautiful. So, all in all, gorgeous episode. It ends with Cassian giving Luthen a choice. He's like, hey, there's the gun. Kill me or take me in. Make me a part of this thing. And that's where he ended it. And just beautiful.
Man, no, that's it. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I learned a lot just now. I don't think I caught everything that Tyrone was talking about. I didn't even realize up until Cassian said, "You're here to kill me," that he was there to kill him. Like I was like, well, he's going back, but I don't know if he's for sure going just to kill him. You know what I mean? Because Luther's kind of unpredictable that way, but he also is that guy who will do it. I mean, shoot, this dude, it feels like even my man, what's my man's name? Saw Gerrera. It has a hint of fear. Like, it's kind of like, yo, Luther, calm the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and he's like the most radical.
Yeah, Luther out crazy Saw in this show, and I wasn't expecting that. Saw was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Saw was like, yo. Hold on, bro. You want to do it like that? He's like, hey, bro, look, is you down or you down? You know what I'm saying? You gonna get down, you gonna lay down. That's what Beans would say.
Yeah.
According to Riley. So yes, Tyrone just broke the whole entire thing down, man. Even some things that I didn't even necessarily know was going on. But the question is, are you satisfied with the Andor finale? Are you satisfied with what we got from these first 12 episodes? How feel you about this season finale? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this series definitely was an eye opener. I'm not gonna lie. Going into it, I was not excited much for it, just because it was playing off of Rogue One, and I'm always ready to take the backlash for it. But I'm not a huge fan of Rogue One. So this was, to me, I was just kind of like, okay, I'll watch it. I don't really have any high hopes for it, but the scenes, the just, I don't know, the feels that you got from watching, this series alone, just hats off to Pedro Pascal for, what I'm saying, like his performance. It was actually, that's the wrong dude, isn't it?
Yeah, Diego Luna.
Yeah, Diego.
Thank you. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, that's the wrong dude. Yeah, so Diego Luna, like, hats off to him, because like literally all the emotion you could see in his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I think, what really drew me into, like, you know, this series. It was incredibly done. I think I'm excited to see, I don't know where they're gonna go from this, because Mandalorian, we already know, is one of the top shows, and now this, it gives us a lot of hope. So, you know, like, as for the future side series and stuff like that, I'm kind of like really excited to see what we're going to get to unveil after seeing this series. I mean, hats off to them, because I was not excited for this, and I was literally like just amazed at how well and how like awesome this whole entire this series was. So I don't know, I loved it, and I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. The ending kind of just left me kind of like, God damn it, you know what I mean? Because that old man, you know, like, fuck, you know, I'm just but I loved, you know, Marva's speech, you know, and just like the uprising, the funeral was beautiful, you know, and like you guys said, you know, like just watching how, you know, it went from a peaceful funeral to just like chaos so quickly. And that fucking Cyril motherfucker had this that damn bitch. I was so mad when he fucking grabbed her. I can't fucking stand this dude, I swear to God. Like, his face alone just makes me like just want to just hate him. But I'm interested to see if, you know, she's gonna now, you know, be all swooned because he saved her life, you know, from all of the, you know, the radicals now, you know, and like, is he gonna get bumped up? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, she's had this very high kind of sexual tension against him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of curious to see where that's gonna lead for the two of them. So yeah.
Oh man. I'm okay, so real quick, Nolly, and I know Steph's not the hugest Star Wars fan, but we're gonna have her here just to make faces about Star Wars and what she does or doesn't vibe with. Thanks for being here, Steph. And I have to say that plant is behind you is astoundingly prominent.
It is ridiculous. I came home and was like, Mom, what is this? Like, it really is the size of a whole room almost. Like, you cannot see. I'm going to get closer to it so you can see for scale how big this thing really is.
Steph is breathing good in there.
Right?
Good oxygen.
Oxygen. This is a solo cup. For reference. You can't even see the whole thing. I can't get it all in my camera.
Hey, wow, yeah, man. I love the plant's afro. You know, I'm sitting over here like, man, that plant is from like Panther Movement. Now I love it, bro. That's good stuff, man. Don't go too far, Steph. I know this in your jam, but as far as Nolly, as far as Star Wars shows goes, I think this one definitely held it down. We learned some things. In this episode, like the end credit scene, real quick, spoiler alert, which we've been talking about spoiling this the whole time, so let me just throw this up real quick so it is known. Spoiler alert, there was an end credit scene that did give us some information about, you know, and I know Yaz isn't really big into Andor, Rogue One, but it was Rogue One-esque. What do you think they were trying to tell us with that end scene? Did you catch what they were trying to tell us? I guess real quick.
I hope they were trying to tell us that we get in this season too, because I'm ready.
Like, oh yeah. I think that they definitely said that. But okay, just to put it out there, the end credit scene, as Daniel has already alluded to in the comment section. Shout out to Daniel and everybody else. They showed the Death Star in its construction, which is integral to Star Wars lore, which ties everything in. This ties that into not only the Star Wars prequels, the Star Wars originals, but also the prequels now. It ties it into, I mean, basically everything. I mean, it did before, don't get me wrong. I know it did. Star Wars already connected, but now, like, you know, with the injunction of the Death Star, which we kind of knew because this is a Rogue One based series.
Yeah.
But what did we learn off of that? And also, just how did you feel about it, man? What you thought about the series finale? Was it enough for you, or was it like?
It was more than enough. I think this show was so beautifully done. It was just so good. I'm sad that it ended, but I'm so glad that we got 12 episodes because I'm so used to Disney hitting us with the 6 to 8 episodes. It definitely wasn't enough. I don't even think 12 episodes was enough. I hope there's some awards given. I'm glad that they're moving it to cable networks and Hulu because definitely there needs to be consideration for some awards. Acting was chef's kiss, beautiful, superb. Storytelling was up there. It was great. The whole thing, great, wonderful. I also was a little blurry-eyed throughout the whole thing. It was just so good. I want more. I'm ready for more.
Yeah, man.
I think I honestly like, and I love Mandalorian, but I think this is the best Star Wars short we've gotten. 100%.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
Oh my God.
Whoa, hold up, man.
God.
Hold on. We ye
It's close.
Of the faith of the Mandalore will beg forgiveness for Nolly. We know this is the way.
No, I'm gonna stand with Nolly real quick on that one. If you're gonna go down on that thought, Nolly, I'm gonna go down with you because it's
this is the hill we die on.
I think it's a better show. I love Mandalorian, but I think I think Andor was a better show.
Yeah.
Wow. So two people on here think that Mandalorian is
scenes alone, the prison break, Marva's funeral. Whew.
But Mandalorian has a black saber and Baby Yoda. Come on, man. We got
Luke.
I mean, I know.
Baby Yoda.
And Ahsoka Tano.
I know.
You had me at Baby Yoda.
Nobody's gonna buy any Marva toys. That's right. We're not gonna see a lot of people, carrying around little tiny Marvas.
Marva's portrait is not gonna be hung next to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in the house,
Right.
But the speech was speeching. Okay, sometimes movies try to do that whole uprising speech motivating thing, and it don't always work. But this one, it delivered. I was like, damn, babe, you see my lightsaber?
Yeah.
They said we got to meet at the town square and fight, and I'm ready to partake in a round of fisticuffs. Like, let's go.
The fisticuffs.
And even stuff like Nemec in his manifesto saying freedom is a pure idea and oppression takes constant effort. Like just these lines are just like these are huge, like revolutionary lines. Like it's just this show's doing stuff that I didn't expect it to be doing. And it was always kind of in the DNA of Star Wars. It's the whole point of Star Wars, but this was done in a way where they're like, hey, this is now a deeper understanding of why Star Wars even exists.
Yep.
I agree. But I mean, look, all right, I'll say this. The Mandalorian has a better set of characters, and the Andor has a better story and show. Because listen, Mandalorian, I'm sorry, but Baby Grogu, all right, is the new face of Star Wars. Mandalorian and the black saber is the new weapon. Is the new Death Star, basically. It's the new green lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. Mandalorian is still the leader. We could argue the merits over which one is better, but Andor, I think, just has better script, better writing, better representation of Star Wars as a whole and not just a character. Mandalorian is exactly what it is, a character. But Andor, here's what I didn't realize. Andor is now not just Cassian Andor, you know what I'm saying? But it also represents Marva, excuse me. So I'm gonna say something controversial. The speech was great, but it was a little awkward. All right, sitting there watching the Empire wait to pounce on Marva when she was giving her speech. It was the turning point, obviously, of when the Empire decides, look, we're just going to be fascist, and that's how it's going to be. Don't let her get this word out because it's going to gem up too much emotions. But it was also this was deliberate. Like, Baby Girl set this up. This was not some Baby Girl. I shouldn't call her Baby Girl. What's the lady's name? We can't, not Marva, but this one right here. She set this up. Remember, they were like, look, don't go in there beating heads. All right, let them have their thing. And this was deliberate. Now, amongst this happening, shit went to shit. And she's like, oh shit, we wasn't ready. And that's it was just it was weird to watch. What do we think is gonna happen now that like Lush, what's his name? I can't remember these. Yeah, this guy ends up
Oh, Cyril.
Yes, Cyril. Sorry, with the other blonde. Look, I can't. These wife. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing their names.
The Empire.
They now. I mean, dude's clearly trying to get that ass. You know what I'm saying?
There's a relationship
like,
festering. Yeah, there's definitely a relationship.
He's feeling her like I don't know what, and it's not just because he thinks she's cute. He's
that
like,
part of it might be one-sided, but I also think like he's been obsessed with like being this. You know, he wants to be like the Iron Fist that rules over people. Like he's obsessed with that idea, and he sees her as a means to that. Like she's like, oh wow, like she is like me. Like he sees kind of himself in her. So it's that's why he's kind of tasting her. I don't know if it's as sexual as it feels. You know what I mean? Both ways. But there's more there than just like I want to bang. You know what I mean? There's much more there. I think if there's any sexual tension, it is, B or C story. It's not the main reason for them, coming into contact with each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna say something else that might not bode well with y'all. And Ty, we never get your thoughts on Andor, but I'm gonna say it outright. I was slightly disappointed in the finale only because two things. Number one, somebody let it be. So I don't know who it was, but somebody said there might be more episodes at one point in time. I think I was hoping for maybe 16 episodes at most. I know 12 was in the works, but also it was all. There's one thing that we know, and that's that they sparked the revolution and that the Death Star is now in construction in this era. But other than that, it was extremely inconclusive, and I don't know if that's how all series don't end with all conclusions. But it was like so inconclusive, Tyrone. And I'm throwing this at Ty. For instance, we don't know what's going to happen with Cyril and the chick. We don't know whether or not Lucian is going to, turn complete evil. We don't know whether or not, I mean, there's so many ifs now. Where's Bix? What happened with all of that? Like, there's so many unanswered questions that I was a little upset that this is over. And I know that just makes me happy for season 2, but I just thought that they were going to cover more ground with the finale. That's one of the only real big complaints that I have, is that there's still so many unanswered questions, Tylee.
Well, to answer that, I don't think it's about any individual. This whole season was about the establishment of the rebellion. And they kind of tapped into all of those aspects throughout the series. First and foremost, I want to give Tyrone his flowers and his props, because he was the outlier that said before this show even came out that he thought it would be the best Star Wars show to date. And he might be right there. I mean, I still have Mandalorian slightly above Andor, and I think it's easy for us to put Andor above Mandalorian because we haven't seen Mandalorian, and sometimes in a while, and sometimes out of sight, out of mind. But when it comes back, I think it'll just we'll reevaluate how we feel. One of the things that I saw in this episode that I thought was very, very telling. Whenever you're establishing a rebellion, there are intricate parts that need to happen. Lucian seems to be the radical. He seems to be the one that is willing to do whatever by any means necessary and everything like that. Marva seems to be that leader that looks at people more as resources, and Lucian looks at them more as currency. Like, I can use them, they can die, whatever, as long as I'm achieving my goal or whatever the overall goal is, then that's fine. I think what Lucian saw in that moment when Marva was giving the speech is a realization that this in order for this to be successful, we have to inspire the people. Mm-hmm. And that's what Marva did. Marva's whole speech inspired because remember, Marva was loved by everyone in that city. She was like everybody who spoke of her spoke of her in high regard. Everybody was sad that she was gone, and by extension, Cassian received that love and that loyalty that people were willing to die to protect him. So when you saw this all kind of transform, all of this kind of come together, Lucen having this realization moment where he's like, maybe I'm approaching this totally wrong. Maybe Marva's on to something. Marva's been on to something. It was established 2 episodes ago that she was part of the rebellion. Like she basically let Cassian know before he left, I can't leave. Why can't you leave? Because I'm invested in the people that are here.
Right,
and
right,
therefore I can't leave them in the moment when they need me the most. Even though I'm about to die, I'm going to make preparations that, because all of this stuff that they did, remember when the guy in the tower started hitting the anvil. The anvil on the thing. This all signified something that they all were aware of. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. This is something that they had already planned. Everybody was already in garb. Everybody was already positioned. Everybody, if you look at that, you realize that they already were in the midst of making their own stand in their own city. So when you see Lucen come down and he's coming there to kill Cassian, make sure that gets done, and basically he doesn't have an opportunity to out anybody. That was a very, very I think important scene, because it now brought together the 2 sides of the rebellion. You have the radicals, and then you have the ones that are actually more about the people, that like and that was Marva. So I definitely think that this is a very well written script, a very well written TV series. I don't necessarily agree with you, Vince, that the characters on Mandalorian are better. I would say the characters on here are actually better, because Mandalorian really only has 2 major characters, and that is Din Djarin and.
Are you nuts?
Listen. I'm not saying they don't have other good characters. What I'm saying is they only have 2 major characters.
Are you nuts?
Well, I guess I'm nuts. Because
2 major characters, bro. We got.
You're just gonna name all of the people on the show, but
yeah,
I mean,
because they're all relevant. Are you serious?
They're not major characters.
So you're saying that Ahsoka Tano is not a major character?
No, she's not.
Moff
She was
Gideon,
a guest. She was a
Luke
guest.
Skywalker,
R2. They're all guests on the show, bro. They're not like that. If we watch this, the next Mandalorian, because what I'm talking about is from the inception. When you start adding characters that come on along, so you're gonna say that Boba Fett is a main character? No, he's not.
Yes.
No, he's not.
He's in the plot line.
Oh my god.
Can I moderate you 2 real quick, because I feel like I could help. Perhaps it's true that Mandalorian has more recognizable characters, and Andor has more. Andor had a bunch of characters who, while maybe we don't know their names or their parts in the rebellion or where they stand, or whatever, that they might have been better fleshed out, and they might have been more integral to the story as it's told in Andor. Maybe that's a middle ground here.
Well, I don't want a middle ground. I don't want a middle ground, Tyrone. You know me. I don't do middle grounds. First of all, I'll break it down for you, Vince. Right. Dedra, major character. Cyril, major character. Luthen, major character.
We don't. Those people suck. We hate all those people. Everybody just named. No. You're okay. I don't think you're not going to see any of those people on any shirts.
Whoa. No. That has nothing. Whether you like the character or not has nothing to do with whether they're a major character or not. So again, I'll continue my list. Because there's a long list of major characters. You can list the
entire cast of characters.
No, I don't have to list the entire character. I'm just talking about the major characters, the ones who, from the inception of the show, have been spotlighted throughout the entire series. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking about major characters that show up and then show out and then go. Like, I mean, like that's not a major character, bro. That's a guest appearance or what you call a cameo.
Now,
Those are cameos.
I gotta look. A cameo is R2D2 in Boba Fett just being seen on the side of the road. Ahsoka was tantamount to the plot, bro. It was not like she showed
how many
up.
Episodes how many episodes was Ahsoka on?
Like 2 or 3. She was in like 2 or 3 episodes.
How many seasons have we had of Mandalorian?
2.
Yeah, we've had 2 seasons so far. You know this.
I do know this. That is my
You're
point.
being cross-examined right now, Vince.
Yeah. Are we trying to have a nerd off? All right, so
cool.
look, I'm not gonna sit. Look, we're not gonna sit in a debate. You know, I've already conceded that Andor is a better plot focused series. It's a better show. All right, I guess in terms of overall, I tried to give the best of both worlds and be like, look, the reason why I say that is because Mandalorian, whether you like it or not, is more impactful. If there would be I don't know if there would be an Andor. I would go there and say if Andor was the first show to come out on Disney Plus, it would not have been as monumental, as impactful as Mandalorian was. Now, having said that, let me ask you this. This is a serious question, and I'm going to pose this to Tyrone too. And ladies, please don't let me neglect y'all as we sit here and mansplain to each other, man. I'm sorry, I don't want to leave y'all out. But why is it that Andor, despite its success, despite not really seeing very many criticisms of it, like it being like a quintessential Star Wars salad of pleasantries, why have we not seen it rise to the level of success, fame, and notoriety as some of the other ones? Let me just kind of give a rundown of some of the headlines. If you just Google if you just Google Andor, like the headlines are all in love with Andor. Like everything news related, they're like, "Yo, is this here? Just a few." Andor, finale, best series Star Wars is done yet. From the let me see, as exciting. Rolling Stone says it finally proves that that the finale proves that it's the most compelling Star Wars show. The Verge says that Andor is one of the Star Wars best chapters yet, but for some strange reason, it doesn't feel like it's getting that Mandalorian type of outreach, that effect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's not really like latching on to it. Is it because it's too far based in reality? What's the difference? What's up, Nolly?
I think because Mandalorian and Andor are 2 different shows, whereas like Mandalorian just focuses on, you know, the culture of Mandalore, everything. I feel like they're both different approaches to Star Wars, whereas Andor is more the Star Wars we're used to, you know, more rooted in reality, you know, reflecting all of the shit that we've been going through in the last couple of years and history as well. And Mandalorian is just like, it's action, got cool weapons and shit. It's easier to get into, especially for non-Star Wars fans, whereas Andor gave us like, it's tied into history, it's tied into so many different events that happen throughout the universe of Star Wars, and it's more in depth.
Okay.
It's harder for like
the
average person to pick up, get into, and be like, oh, I like this. Like a lot of people will go into and be like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Whereas, you know, Mandalorian, it's like, fuck it. He's got a darksaber. I'm in it. There's a baby Yoda. That's cool. We got some great guest spots.
Yeah.
It's totally different experiences.
What's up, Ty?
I was just gonna say it's even simpler than that. Andor is coming after 3 failed joints by Star Wars. You Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and what was the other one? Or maybe there's just 2. But either way, after the disappointment of those 2 series, you now have people that have speculation and maybe cause to maybe stand back and kind of watch this unfold because they've already kind of had their hopes diminished and everything like that. Mandalorian didn't have that problem. Mandalorian was a first of its kind new series, and we hadn't had anything from Star Wars in a while, and especially series based outside of Clone Wars. And that I think that was kind of and obviously Baby Grogu is just the cutest thing that you've ever seen in your life. And it's just hard not to like it. But Andor, I think, had you not had Boba Fett, had you not had Obi-Wan, Andor is right up there. Andor is right up there. Like the writing is so good, and that's why critics love it. The storytelling aspect of it has been phenomenal. And yeah, if you just take out Boba Fett and take out Obi-Wan, and then you drop Andor, you're probably gonna have maybe not have the same fanfare that you get but with the Mandalorian, simply because like you said, they're not going to be selling Cassian Andor dolls all throughout Toys R Us and Walmart. But as far as the writing goes and everything like that, and just from just a writer standpoint, this is like this is top tier. This is definitely top tier. I just think that it kind of had its legs pulled out from under it because of Obi-Wan and Boba Fett.
So Star Wars got in the way of Star Wars. Okay, what's up, Tyrone?
I have a different take. I think it's because Mandalorian is very much a merch show. People are going to buy little Grogu toys, and they're going to buy shirts, and and there's memes everywhere, and there's cool armor in the Mandalorians, and you have all the different Mandalorians, stuff like that. You have none of that in Andor, so
right.
It doesn't. Its revenue streams are completely different. Also, it's like the show kind of goes against everything that Disney and Star Wars and Lucasfilm is right now, when you really start to think about it. So it's like it doesn't hit the same way. Mandalorian is what Star Wars has always been, which is it's cool blasters and lightsabers and ships and cute creatures and things like that. And Andor, I mean, even B2, as much as we like B2, that's an ugly little droid. You know what I mean? We like his personality and we like, that kind of stuff. But that's not a little droid you're going to see people walk around with little stuffed animals, a B2. That's not a BB-8. You know what I mean? That's not a BD-1.
I could see a Lego set.
Yeah, I can see it.
But it's not going to be the way that we're used to seeing Star Wars droids being received. And we're probably not going to see we're not going to see people dressed up as Andor in the Disney parks, you know what I mean? Like we do with the Mandalorian, people are going to be like, oh my God, it's Andor. I'm gonna get a picture with it. It's not going to be like that with this show. So it's a completely different style and different way that it's being talked about, that it's being marketed, that it's being, just put out to us. So I do think that over time it will kind of catch up as far as what Daniel was saying, people talking about it, people seeing how good the show is and stuff, but it won't be the same as kind of the Star Wars that we're used to. This is just a different Star Wars.
What's up, Dolly? Oh, my bad. I guess you just nothing. I
think it's one of my kids. They're being loud as hell. I keep getting the death glare.
Hey, all right.
Something else, Vince? I think after because Nolly brought this point up as far as awards and it winning awards. I think once it receives the notoriety that we all think it deserves, I think it does. It will open up the doors and the floodgates for more fans to come aboard and watch it, because when you get best series or best whatever, that those things do amount to certain things, and I agree with Tyrone that they are two different shows, but I think. Again, a lot of people already had their reservations because of what we saw with Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, and I just think once people realize, because we were on board, but there's still a lot of people out there that haven't watched this at all because they were like, man, I'm not watching no more Star Wars. Boba Fett was trash. Obi-Wan was trash. I hear them and I see those people in the comment section a lot. Like they're like I haven't watched it because that's you're not gonna get my time again. I spent all my time on Obi-Wan and they so I see all of that. But once they get established and once they get the awards and the recognition, then people are gonna be like, well, let me check it out. They won best. What is the fuss about? And I think at that point is when we really can tell how successful the show is.
Well, here's something that's happening that's different. Because I think that Disney is recognizing, and this is what I mean by characters being better. Now, I don't mean person per person. Is the Mandalorian is Din Djarin a better human being than Cassian Andor? I don't mean like that. I just mean like the easy way, like Tyrone just described. You're not going to see a lot of people dressed up as, even though I doubt that. I think that in the next, over the course of the next year, we're going to see some Andor characters cosplayed at a lot of cons. They may be less recognizable, but I think we will see it. As I'm looking at Tyrone, I'm starting to see a little Cassian Andor in his face. He might could, you know what I'm saying? He might could be Cassian Andor Jones.
Cassian Andor Jones. I love it.
But what I mean is like marketability, like you said, and marketability isn't just merch. All right, it's also, look, if you see a picture of this person and a picture of this person, which one of these movies, if you could only see one for the day, would you see? And I think Mandalorian wins. But here's where I give Star Wars and Disney credit. And I don't know I don't know whose decision this was, because I haven't looked that deep into it. But I think Star Wars has recognized that. And instead of kicking and screaming and bitching and moaning about it, what they've done is they have made the Andor show more accessible to more people, because I believe that they think once more people see it, they'll be like, oh shit, this is actually dope. So let me read an article, just a quick paragraph from an article from a reliable source called Inverse. It's not one of the sources we get that just clickbait. All right, and it says, on Monday, this Monday, Disney announced it will premiere the first 2 episodes of Andor, titled Casa and That Would Be Me, across Disney's broadcast, cable, and streaming networks. In other words, Disney is this huge umbrella of multiple TVs. They have multiple access to TV platforms. Why only use Disney Plus? Which I think also Disney is also on the verge of possibly maybe getting rid of Disney Plus, low key. That's a conversation for another day, because they ain't making no money on Disney Plus right now. Andor will be the Andor takeover will be the first. It will take place throughout the Thanksgiving weekend, with availability on Hulu lasting between November 20th, 23rd to December 7th. And the full schedule is as follows. It will be on ABC November 23rd, FX on November 24th, Freeform, which I didn't even know Disney owned, on 20.
It's an ABC network.
Yeah, and also, as I already listed, Hulu. So Disney is saying, look, man, enough people didn't see this show. Let's make it more accessible, because, and I think it's also kind of crazy that Disney also owns Hulu, which is kind of weird. It's like there's people that are like capitalizing. That's capitalism. But it's also they're recognizing that, look, Andor is not a strong enough show to get people to subscribe. It is a strong enough show, but for some strange reason, it hasn't had the allure, Tyrone.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and I think, for all of the reasons that we touched on, but it's so weird to see Disney jump behind the show and try to push it out so hard, considering that if you really wanted to, like, if we wanted to start to pick, like, okay, in the real world, who would be the Empire, and who, like, Disney might be a top choice. You know what I mean? For the for the corporate empire and shit like that. So it's really weird to see a show like this be pushed out so hard, because it's very critical of the system that actually produces the show. You know what I mean? Is wild. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm sure it'll be recognized once more eyes see it. I would expect people to get. I'm out here caping for Andy Serkis. His run on the show, I think he absolutely should be. I think there's an Emmy category for best guest star.
Oh, guest star.
Wow, you think? Yeah, so? And if that's the case, I think John Lithgow won one for like Dexter back in the day or whatever. I forget exactly what the category is called, but if that category exists, he should absolutely be a top contender for it. So many good performances in the show, but yeah, it's weird to see to see Disney be like, yeah, everybody needs to see this show. It's like you might mess around and start your own uprising, Disney, against yourself.
Right. Well, Steph just dropped some nuggets real quick, Steph, with regard to Disney Plus. They got some things that we can look forward to coming forward, or what's going on?
Yes, Black Cinderella is coming back. Brandy is playing Cinderella in the new Descendants movie. Descendants, if you follow the kid stuff at all, is the children of Disney villains have their own line of movies and merch and whatnot. So Brandy's coming back as Cinderella, and I'm excited. Black Cinderella as canon in the Disney world.
Yeah, man. I
Here
like
for it.
my Cinderella has braids. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I love that, man. And it makes so much sense for her to have step parents. And they never did actually announce who her father was. Well, that's a whole other problem. So hopefully we fix that in this one. Real quick, man. Andor delivered. We love it, and Disney is gonna push it out more. But unfortunately, I don't think is going to be able to carry Disney Plus into another stratosphere marketing wise, which is why they're pushing on these other services. Go ahead, please.
I did want to make Daniel brought up earlier. You kind of touched on it with the Death Star thing. One of the reasons that they showed the whole Death Star at the end credit scene was because the parts they were making in the prison were specifically for completing the weapon portion of the Death Star. Like they actually showed us those parts being installed in the Death Star, so it kind of tied that whole thing in, commentary on the prison industrial complex and the way they use slave labor and that whole thing. So wanted to just throw that out there, make sure we didn't miss that.
Which honestly was one of the best parts of the show, was seeing the prison industrial complex and how it's led by the Empire. One thing I want to state real quick before we move on, before our last little segment, is that in this show, I didn't realize throughout this show, up until that last scene, that we're dealing with an empire that did not have that huge power yet. Like what happened to Alderaan shook the whole galaxy, from what I understand. And I also didn't really realize, like, this is a galaxy. This is not like, the universe. This is like one galaxy. It's like we're in the Milky Way. This is one galaxy. So now learning that they're using the people that they imprisoned to build the machine that is going to use to keep them oppressed is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like having slaves build their own whips. You know what I'm saying? And then having them, put their hands on the trees. It's like the level of psychological, like, fuckery that's going on with this. I mean, of course, obviously they don't know what they're doing, but still, like, at one point when Alderaan is destroyed, one of those prisoners that jumped off of that ship into the ocean is going to be like, man, I helped build that shit, man.
Yep. That's also, it shows you how many points of failure, though. Like Nemec was saying, oppression it takes constant effort. It's like if those prisons rise up, they don't get the parts to build their weapon. All of a sudden, they don't have a Death Star anymore. It's like that's how important like just a few people are in a rebellion, and that's the whole point of the show. And they told it beautifully.
It's a good mirror of the American prison system.
Absolutely,
it's slavery.
It's self-perpetuating.
So much for cents on the dollar.
Yeah, and speaking of the system, and I'd like to try a new system. Terrible segment.
Yeah,
last one for the year. I think I just Nolly said I can't be here in a part of this with that. So I would like to introduce y'all to a new concept. I didn't make the graphic for it yet, but I will pretty soon. But I would like to have in our last few minutes a discussion about what we could have as categories, or what y'all would like to nominate for what I am titling the New Blurred Awards. And I'm slow with all right, I can't find it. It's not here. It's sorry, Nolly, I didn't get you on here yet. But Nolly will be added to this result. The New Blurred Award. Oh, is it New Blurred Order Awards? I don't freaking know. Whatever, man. Anyway, I just made this up on the spot. So a lot of things have happened this year. So we only have about 4 more weeks, and I think next week is our 100th episode, if I'm not mistaken. Next week or the week after that. Shout out to all the people we've met and left with along the way. But this year has been a crazy year, and I would like to discuss some categories that we could have. Y'all nominate some things for these. I have best movie, best TV show, best actor, best performance, and best video game release of the year. Obviously, we don't have enough time to go down all of these, but let's start with maybe some of the ones that we've talked about here on this panel. Let's start with TV shows this year. What is there any TV? I think I know what Tyrone's going to nominate. I just realized this is a terrible idea because it's just going to be
Andor's going to sweep. No, I'm not. It's not going to be that.
Okay. That well, let's just put up some ideas for the best TV show for this year. I will keep this. I'm going to keep track of these. If y'all want to just give me some names, and obviously we've got Andor is on
Rings of Power.
Okay, the Rings of Power. Okay, Andor, Rings of Power. All right, good.
So this is not Black properties. It's just properties we like.
It could be anything. It don't matter. Whatever it is you want. You know what I'm saying?
We should have a blackity black category.
That would be. Yeah, we could have the blackest. Hey, that gives
the rooting for everybody black category.
Yeah. Black, the best black based show. But right now, this one isn't that. This is just the best TV show, and whatever you think that might be. All right, we already have.
There's like been a lot of shit released.
We got Andor, and we've got
The Boys.
The Boys season 3.
Oh, yeah,
we talking The Boys season 3.
Strong one.
All right,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. All right, hold on. Let me get Peacemaker down here. All right, cool. What else?
The
do we have?
dance.
Who?
The dance. Stephanie killed the dance.
Oh yeah, the Peacemaker dance. Do you want that? Yes, she did kill the dance. Man, we gotta put that back up her TBT. All right.
I might nominate The Peripheral. I'm starting to really like that show. That show is like really good. That show is really good. Peripheral might be up on there.
Okay, Peripheral. We're gonna nominate Peripheral. Okay, Peripheral.
It's a good show.
It is.
I like that Let the Right One In show is really good too.
It really is. And this week's episode was phenomenal.
Now we're just naming shows.
Yeah, I think so. I want to nominate She-Hulk. I know everybody didn't love it. I know Steph just gave me 3 side eyes. Even her third eye just squinted. What about what else came out this year?
Was the Empire show this year? It wasn't called Empire.
Yeah, Empire, yes.
Empire.
Foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was last year.
Between Foundation.
That was last year. That was last year.
What?
Foundation.
What are years
Yeah, it was
anymore?
last
Like,
year.
is
It was Foundation was last year.
last year was like 3 years long.
Yeah. That was like, damn. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I scratched that. What about Moon Knight? No.
I liked Moon Knight.
I like Moon Knight. I don't know if it deserves to be up there with the best of the year.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay.
Like it was good enough, but
Good
not
enough.
that good.
All right. Well, I've got.
pretty.
So we got to.
What If this year?
What If was also
What
last
If?
year.
That was last year.
I didn't like anything this year.
Well, we can put if you want. We can nominate Love Is Blind, Stephanie, season 3.
That was terrible. That deserves no.
He had the
award.
African dude on there, and he actually it was that the dude the chick that he chose.
Oh, he's been cheating on her with white women. So.
And he released a statement that he's suing, and it's messy. I love mess. That's not mine. I love mess. That's not mine.
That was my hope for I
like how all y'all are so intrigued and
I was rooting for them.
I don't know.
In other nerd news, African on Love Is Blind decides
Nigerian
not
men
to be
love the
faithful
white
to his
women.
queen.
Lord Jesus.
All right. Well, listen, we're gonna drop some more of these, man. If y'all don't mind, maybe we can go. I ain't got a whole bunch of time today. We all got to head out. What's up, Steph?
I recommend as a category like most well-rounded. Like a person who's been in lots of franchises, a black person who's in lots of franchises or lots of nerd shows. You already know my nominee, Miss Yvette Nicole Brown, who has a hand in everything. But I'm sure we can think of some other black folks who was like, you were in. I think
Jonathan
of
Majors.
Yep, Jonathan Majors.
Viola Davis.
Who's also in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Bunch of stuff.
Deny.
Okay,
so well-rounded means like how many franchises they can like jump in and out. Okay.
Anything.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant like
versatility.
How much
That
you
too.
feel in it.
Those could be separate things.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a couple
We
minutes?
should call
and
them the
hash
full
this out
package. They could
in the
do
back
anything.
in the background
Yeah.
before everybody goes off for their weekend.
We'll have a
Come back with
branding
some
meeting.
stronger categories. Yeah, real quick one. Not the one because I got to get on the video game. Like it's calling me. It's
He
calling
said, I gotta get on the video game.
It's
Look at
calling
him.
me, son. I
Priority.
sent you an invite too. Yeah.
It's time for an intervention.
I
It is
swear
this
if
needs an intervention, guys. We
Look,
might
bro,
have
Look,
to.
I have our
He's
Twitch
dragging
set on
me. He's
I don't
dragging me
want
down.
Look, I have our Twitch set on notifications. It'd be 6 o'clock in the morning. I know
Yo.
this man is not.
Man,
I just
listen.
know
Thanks for watching,
he is.
Ollie.
Okay, he is. He's
he'll
serious.
wake me up out my sleep. He'll be like, "Yo, where you at? What, you sleeping? Wake up! Come
And
on, we're playing again."
the part about Returnal is like there's enemies where you beat them it's easier to beat them when you have two people. So I'm like, fuck, man, I keep dying. I'm like, yo, let me call Ty. Ty don't answer the phone. I'm like, I'm gonna call him back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I need help. Like, I need backup. Like, I'm calling for. So yeah, we'll talk about that. So yeah, and God of War has got my attention. I ain't gonna lie, but it's slow. We'll talk about that too, man. It's too much to talk about. All right, well, anyway, let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. Unless y'all got anything else to say, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know to make sure y'all follow us on all of our platforms, especially Twitch. If you want to see somebody obsessively play a video game until this is over with, until I beat the game, then follow us on the Twitch page. It is twitch.tv/New Blurred Order. And check us out on that, and make sure y'all check out Multiverse. Oh wait, I don't know. Are y'all on hiatus? Y'all on hiatus?
We are on vacation, but you can still check us out.
Yeah,
we'll have plenty of videos. Go to the YouTube, watch as many as you like. But yeah, we are on vacation. We are enjoying the holidays. We will be back.
Ready to come back strong.
We out of time, so anyway, go ahead, make sure y'all be your authentic self, and all things, make sure you let that geek flag fly. Peace.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to beat. Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging, and the Uncle album banging. If you negative and energy.